Hello everyone, my name is Pinky Leah, and I finally recovered from my wisdom teeth removal. The procedure wasn't as bad as my anxiety made me think it would be, but I still hated it. The top two came out fairly easily and quickly, so it put me in a false sense of security for the bottom one they removed. It took a lot longer than the two top ones, and they had to use the dental drill 2 to 3 times, which startled me. And during the whole removal, my entire body wouldn't stop shaking. No matter how much I focused on deep breathing or wanted my body to stop shaking, it just wouldn't stop. Otherwise, it was very uncomfortable feeling the pressure in my mouth and hearing the noises. They did have to keep freezing me. They refroze my mouth 3 to 4 times because my anxiety just kept burning through the numbness, so I would actually feel pain. I felt a bit of pain when they were pulling on my tooth, and I felt pain the first time the drill went in, which I do not recommend. My body was just so hyped up, though, that it just kept burning through whatever they were using to freeze me. After they finally got it out, it took like an hour for the bottom one alone, and they tilted me into a sitting position. My body did stop shaking finally, but my muscles were really sore because shaking that long, it was just really, my whole body was like tense, so I was in quite a bit of pain afterwards, and my arms and hands felt tingly and odd. It's not the same tingly feeling you get when your body has fallen asleep. The tingliness I was feeling was really weird. And I also was dizzy with it. The dentist asked me if I was dizzy, which I said yes, and told him about my arm and hands tingling. And he tilted the chair back down, so I was laying, and told me to fold my legs up, and he checked my pulse. And I think my blood pressure was low because he left the room, came back with a bottle of orange juice and told me that I needed the sugar and that I should drink the whole thing. Apparently, the reason why my bottom one was so hard to get out is because there was bone covering part of the tooth. So they had to drill through the bone covering the tooth, and then the tooth itself was kind of like inserted into my jawbone. So because of that, they had to drill the tooth to separate it from its root, which they left in my mouth, but they told me that it wouldn't cause any problems. But they did have to stitch the bottom wound closed because of it. The good thing is the stitches will dissolve on their own, so I don't have to go back in there for them to remove it, and I'm so glad for that. The pain afterwards for the recovery period, which I was also really worried about, wasn't too intolerable. The cyst I had a while ago is definitely worse, but the pain was still uncomfortable and hurt enough to prevent me from sleeping sometimes. They didn't prescribe me anything that you can't get over the counter. They just told me to take 1 to 1.5 tablets of Advil, which I was disappointed about because I was expecting a stronger painkiller than just Advil, and Advil for me personally takes 30 minutes or an hour to even work, and sometimes it doesn't help. I would have appreciated a stronger painkiller, and since I had the right side of my jaw very sore from the bottom tooth not wanting to come out and then having it drilled, I got a lot of headaches and ear aches, mainly just all on the right side of my head. But I'm glad that it's over now. I still have the bottom left tooth. They couldn't remove it at the dentist because it's so impacted that it's completely sideways. And I'll need to see a specialist to remove that with oral surgery. Though I'm kind of glad they didn't remove it at the dentist because judging from how difficult the right one was and how much pain I was in afterwards and during the procedure, it's a huge relief to not have had the left side of my face also in pain. And like at least I had half of my face completely fine, even if half of it was in pain for a really long time. It would have really sucked if both sides of my jaw were in pain at the same time, and I just had full-on headaches all the time and earaches in both ears. That would have just been terrible. They told me I might not even need to get it removed, which I am kind of glad to hear about. They said even though it's so impacted, it's not causing any problems or damage to my other teeth or in my mouth. And they said if it's not giving me pain, which it's not, then I could go years without needing it removed, and that maybe I won't even need to get it removed at all. I am praying that I don't need to get it removed at all. If I did need it removed later, they said it might be easier to get out down the road than it would be to get it out now. And I don't understand why that is, but sure. Anything, please, that's better than what I just went through. They want to keep an eye on it when I go in to do cleanings, which now, compared to my wisdom teeth removal, the cleanings will be so much less stress-inducing. Because, even for cleanings, I've had them done before, but I would still get anxious about them. But now, after going through this, cleanings are going to be so nice to go to. Especially because they give you bite blocks for those. During the recovery period, I was editing videos I pre-recorded, which would be all the calico ones. And of course, since I was in pain and just went through the wisdom teeth removal, literally every single editing program I use decided to give me problems. It's like they were saying, you want some video scheduled while you're recovering so you can get back into things? That's cute. I think out of the 4 I did, only 1 or 2 worked without problems, but the other 2 videos, everything went wrong with, and then when the videos themselves weren't giving me problems, the programs were giving me problems, and the majority of my audio files gave me problems. I knew I would run into editing errors eventually, but it just kind of sucked that it happened so soon and right after my wisdom teeth removal and recovery. That's a whole other topic for some other time though. And I did my best to work around them, so if people did notice some odd stuff with my calico videos, I had editing problems. But I will get into that later, maybe. Possibly. We'll see. That's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about from the removal and the recovery. Other than, when I was recovering, my family was actually, super sweet, and they actually spoiled me. I only asked for applesauce during the recovery, but they got me applesauce and they got me pudding, which I wasn't expecting, and I really appreciated. Actually, they got me chocolate pudding and some magical unicorn pudding. I don't know, it's blue and pink, and it says it tastes like happiness and sparkles. And it smells like Play-Doh, and it tastes how Play-Doh smells. So it's they took Play-Doh and made it a pudding. But oddly, it doesn't taste too bad. I kind of like it. So I'll finish it. But they also got me a yogurt strawberry parfait with cream in it and stuff. And I wasn't expecting that at all. So I felt really spoiled. And I don't know, it made me feel really nice that they did that for me. But other than that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. But at least it wasn't all bad. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!